Hide and Seek officially began this episode, and the blue team certainly were not good enough at hiding, and Myeon-jae and Namju were seeking to take out more participants than necessary. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's time to review Squid Game Season 3, Episode 2. It was the continuation of the game Hide and Seek, which pretty much takes up the entirety of the episode. But before we get into that, we start with Noel taking out the remaining doctor after he completes the blood transfusion to keep player 246 alive. And then we see her looking at one of the triangle masks, and she looks at the uniforms, and at this point it looks like she's going to disguise him as an officer, and those two, I guess, will go back into the games. Maybe try to save more lives. I don't know, maybe try and take people down. I'm not too sure what they're going for with this character because she isn't a great person, and maybe she saved this guy because she's got a heart and she knows that he's in there because of his sick daughter, but she doesn't really strike me as somebody that wants to bring down the games like Ji-hun does. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they do. Maybe she's had a change of heart. Maybe her direction will be different now, but yeah, I guess those two are going to go back under the suits, the costumes, the masks, and slot back into the games. But
I know she knows his story, but how many other people are in there due to a similar story, and she's had no problem gunning them down? Giving her empathy towards this one guy, it's all good and it's all great. It's a different plot point, but at the end of the day, how many people has she put down in this version of the games that's had an emotional story?
Yeah, I mean,
they're all there for a reason.
Yeah, some of them are there for pure greed, but some of them are there to help out family members because they're sick or whatnot. They need operations, they need money, is what it is. I'd say most of them are there for a good reason, other than just to get rich or to do something selfish, like, transition into a woman. But anyway, speaking of that, so we do see some people like team up here. We get some allies that are confirmed, and yeah, the red team give chase. I felt like it was about 10 minutes of nothing really happening.
I think this game was a letdown, to be honest. I don't know. I expected a lot more to happen. It was because the door opened and you kind of just saw like the entrance, you're thinking, right, are these doors going to lead to like trap rooms? I mean, there was a couple of things where if you opened it, you could fall down, or exit doors and like stairwells, but it was all a bit basic, wasn't it? I feel like for Squid Game at this stage, final season, I expected something a wee bit more.
It was like a shite version of the honeycomb maze for Takeshi's Castle.
Yes, that's what it reminds me of.
I preferred
that. The guys doing mad manoeuvres on the exits.
This one
swinging round doors.
This one was just kind of people walking around in circles.
Yeah, and another thing, it's like, I know it's fairly obvious, but see once like some of the blues started fighting back and then getting knives, that kind of just took the element of it out for me.
Yeah,
I'm not saying there should have been a rule, right, where the blues can't fight back, but it's like, if you're a capable man and a woman wearing a red bib rocks up to you, are you going to really... I mean, I'm not saying you've got a 100% chance of succession, but it kind of loses the fear and element of the game for me.
If you're allowed to fight back and possibly retrieve their knife and kill them.
No, obviously at the same time there can be a 6'4" guy wearing a bib and he's confronting a 5'1" woman, right? That's just unlucky if that happens to you. But I feel like the game had too many loopholes to a point for it to really succeed.
Yeah, I mean, the red team have knives, but I think you knew that before the end of the game, people were going to lose their knives, and you were going to get people in the blue team picking up knives, and it was kind of just going to get a bit messy and turn into a free-for-all, and I felt like that's kind of how it ended. So, Ji-hun, we've seen him basically stare down Dae-ho the entire premiere, and I thought that perhaps they were just trying to trick us into believing that he wanted to kill him, but turns out he did, because Ji-hun went into this game basically not trying to kill anyone other than Dae-ho. Now, I think he was potentially going to take down the Christian woman, or the God-fearing woman, the crazy woman, Sion Neo, but she decided to give up Dae-ho, and I guess he wanted to kill him more than he wanted to kill her, although he could have killed them both because there was no rules on that. You had to kill at least one blue person to pass, but there was no rules on the fact that you couldn't kill any more. And if you do kill more, it's like a double whammy, because not only are you killing another blue person and eliminating them from the games, but you're also stopping a red person, because if you kill another blue person, that means there's one less for a red person to kill. So therefore, for each additional blue person that you kill, you're also eliminating a red person. And it was Namju that came up with that idea, or came up, obviously thought that logic through when he was teaming up with Myun Jae. And I think that was actually very good. If you're in this not to survive, if your goal is here, I want to win, and the easiest way to win is to kill the most people as possible, then it makes sense, I think, to just go on a killing spree. If you're in this and you've been given the red bib and you're not a killer and you're not a bad person and you simply just want to survive to the next round, then I get it, just try and kill one person. But if your goal is to win the money, any means necessary, then killing as many blue people that you can possibly find is the right thing to do.
No, I totally agree with that. But I mean, it's kind of hard to review this episode because it's kind of just running about, odd fight scene running about. I don't think they utilised the middle of the room with a big elevator shaft kind of chamber where there was doors that led to the outside with like a 10-foot drop.
Yeah, nobody fell or nothing.
Nobody fell. Nobody hid it on the ledges. I mean, I'm not saying they need to make it WWE or whatever, but I think a good fight.
A red person could have chased a blue person through the door and fell to their death.
Yes.
We could have got that scene.
Or like when I thought when Ji-hun and the guy were fighting, I thought it was going to lead to like one of them, well, maybe not Ji-hun, but the other guy falling. But you're right, no one even attempted to hang on to the ledge. Like, you could clearly get rid and hide. Perfect spot to hide.
Yeah, I mean, it was all a bit messy. Did it remind me a little bit of the season 2 finale when they just had like a gun shoot and it felt like it went on for half an hour? Almost, yeah, because this game, it did last almost the entire episode, and for me it was, I wasn't a big fan of it, honestly. We get the three women, Jumja, Hyunju, and John Hee. So they all team up, and you got Hyunju. She's trying to protect them because she's the most capable. She's a man. They've all got 3 different keys as well, so that helps them get through all the doors. She has to kill a couple of people. And then one red guy with not long to go looks in, he just sees her killing someone, and then with less than 5 minutes to go, he decides, fuck it, I'm going to go and try and find someone else. See, at that point, with 5 minutes to go, I think you'd take your chances.
No, I totally agree. I didn't understand that, to be honest, but
they were trying to make her seem super strong, super heroic. I mean, what she was. We get Myun Jae and Namju, they team up and say, right, well, let's work together. We'll kill one person and then we'll kill another one. Namju goes to kill the first guy, stabs him a couple of times. The guy says, please don't kill me. I've got a wife and kids at home. Then Myun Jae kind of hesitates and you think, well, maybe he doesn't want to kill this guy because he maybe sees himself in a similar position in the future because he's going to have a kid. Maybe not a wife, but certainly a kid. But that's not what is making him hesitate. He just doesn't want to do it because he believes that if Namju does it, then he still needs to kill someone, and there's no proof that Namju will help him because he's already passed. So they decide that they're going to kill him at the same time, and this appears to get them half a kill each.
This was messy, man. This just overcomplicates it. I think they still both could have teamed up without the half a kills. Like, if he kills him, then he can just help his wee buddy. Or the heal.
Yeah, but there was no proof. There's no proof that the other one would help the other.
No, I understand that. I do think the guy, Thanos' buddy, I don't think he would help him. But at the same time, this guy's objective was to kill someone and then help his pregnant ex-girlfriend.
And they seem to abandon that because they decided, here, we kill this guy together, then we still need one more. But when they got the second kill, it did pass them both. But then they decided, here, let's not just stop at these 2. Let's eliminate even more. So they basically spend the entire episode killing as many people as they can. Number 100, who's a shite bag, acts a big game, but he is a bit of a coward of a man.
He is a coward of a man.
He spends the entire time hiding. Seon Yo, the religious woman, she's basically got like a flock of followers.
But there was a scene where he and some other guy bottle it from a woman, and he just locks the guy in. Like, they could have easily took her on 2-on-1 and got a knife.
Yep. I didn't quite understand it. Then he has to play dead, put some blood on himself, and manages to survive. Seon Ne, she gets confronted by both Myun Jae and Namyu, and all her little followers get killed, but she manages to run and escape. And then she bumps into Ji-hun, and Ji-hun's going to kill her because she's on his hit list, I guess, because she's one of the people he doesn't like. But she gives up Daeho. She says there's a trail of blood. He's the one you really want to kill. If you go after him, you'll catch him. Then she bumps into Youngdae, Mr. 100. She has, I believe, 1 key. He's 2 keys. So together with the 3 keys, they can escape. They get to the exit, and if you pass this means that that's you. You've completed it, whatnot. He puts in 2 keys, tries to open the door, doesn't work. She's like, dumbass. You gotta put the 3 keys in. Which she puts in her key. The 3rd key opens the door. Then she starts like, I don't know, fucking dropping to her knees or whatnot and praising God. Oh, I'm here. God, save me. I'm the hero. I'm the savior and all this stuff. And then he just pushes her out, takes one of the keys, locks the door behind him. He says, who's the dumbass now? And then, yeah, that kind of screws her over. She turns around. Minsu is behind him, or behind her. And he thinks that his old friend for season 2 is still alive. He's been taking some of Thanos' drugs. He's hallucinating. He spent the entire game trying to save her, despite coming into contact with multiple red team players. Blue team players, sorry, could have tried to kill someone, never. She then basically runs him down, verbally assaults him, but he begins to see things, and instead of seeing the religious woman, he sees Namju, and that's the guy he was looking for the entire time, and he ends up stabbing her, thinking that she was him, and that's her dead. So, big death there. Then back with Hyunju, she finds a way out as well. I think there's multiple exit doors, but she finds another one. She then opens it, she's about to go through, save herself, but then she thinks, oh no, I need to go and save my 2 friends who were still alive, and we'd just seen Jun-hee give birth to a child, so we had that. She goes to save them, and then at the door she gets stabbed from behind by Myunji, and obviously that is the father of the kid. He looks at Jun-hee. Then Namju appears, and he feels that he is maybe going to kill his baby, maybe kill his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, so he locks the door pretending that there's nobody in there. But I think Young-hee maybe seen something inside of him and thought, you know what, I don't know if he can be trusted. Is he too far gone? He said he was only going to kill 1 person. And she already knew that he'd passed because his number was announced earlier. So at this point, he's just killing people for the sake of it.
He is, and it's also the person that he killed. I feel like if he just killed some randomer, it could be like, well, it's one less person we need to worry about. The one person he killed was someone that actually helped give birth to his child, so...
Suppose he doesn't know that. He didn't know. He didn't know she was in there.
Yeah, I guess he can claim that. But you know what? I thought this was probably scene of the episode.
Yeah, so then he lures Namju away. Then Yun-hee and Jumja, they go to the exit. We then get the fight between Daeho and Ji-hun. Ji-hun attacks him, finds him. The blood trail led him to him. He's got him down. Daeho says it's not my fault. He admits that he was never in the Marines. He admits that he's been a loser his entire life, but he just wanted to say he was to try and fit in with the rest of them, because maybe if he did, he would be saved. He wouldn't die. Then he's got a knife of his own, and he stabs Ji-hun. Ji-hun then stabs him, and we get a bit of a knife fight. Ji-hun chases him down, gets on top of him, starts choking him. Daeho's final words are, "It's all your fault. It's all your fault." But this doesn't stop Ji-hun. He chokes him out, strangles him, kills him.
Notice the way though they had to try and spin this into a way where he was kind of provoked into it, when it looked like the whole episode he was bloodthirsty just to kill this guy.
Yeah, I think he was going to kill him anyway. But as soon as he does kill him, he pretty much accepts it is my fault. Now, whether he's accepting it or if he's just repeating, maybe he's just repeating what Daeho said, but he sits there after strangling Daeho and he says, "It's my fault." But the game at this point has already ended, and he goes to stab himself and a guard shoots a knife away from him. Meanwhile, at the remaining exit, we have Jumja and Jun-hee. They're about to complete the game. And then all of a sudden, her son, Young Sik, comes in. He hasn't killed anybody yet. There's like a minute to go. He tells his mom that he still needs to get a kill. He's not a killer. He couldn't do it. So therefore, he's going to kill Yun-hee. His mother says, "Don't be killing her. You can't do that. Kill me instead. I'm old. I've lived." But he can't do it. He can't kill his mother So therefore, he pushes her aside. He goes to kill Yun-hee, and then his mom, Jumja, stabs him with her little, like, I don't know, she's had like some sort of blade in her hair, and momentarily this stops him, and she apologises. The time runs out, and then we get the guards coming round, and they basically end him because he failed his objective, and he wasn't able to kill anybody, therefore he did not pass, and she cries out as he's gunned down, and that was pretty much the end of the episode.
But you know what, though? He could have avoided this. There was a few people he could have killed this episode, and his arse folded. Not that it's an easy thing to do, like, but you know what? Did his mother job him out here? I can see why she did what she did. She didn't hit him with a killing blow, put it that way. She did it in a way to stop him from what he was doing.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, with less than a minute to go and no other blue shirts in sight. I mean, this was...
Did she do all she could, though? She literally said, kill me. Don't kill her, kill me. Even grabbed the blade and put it into her a bit.
True, but I mean, at this point, I think the blow that she dealt may as well been a fatal blow.
Aye.
Anyway, that was it. That was pretty much a full game. I don't know. I thought the game was okay, but I was expecting it to be better.
I was expecting it to be better. I think it was just a bit... It was all of it. It was too chaotic. I think the best games in this show have got a bit of structure to them. And I think this was just... You realised after like the mundane opening 10 minutes that this is just flawed. There's so many like loopholes. Like they can kill each other, they can take knives and shit like that. People can team up.
60,
people can get half the kills.
60 people entered. How many people do you... I would say at least... I'd say we're probably down to about 20.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
If not, maybe less, because there was 30 in each team.
At least more than 30 have been killed easily.
Well, no shit. You had to have a minimum of 30 die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
30 is the least amount of people you could lose.
If ever a double kill that those two were doing, that was stopping someone else from getting a kill. So I'd say there's probably about 22, 23 left.
Yeah, possibly somewhere.
I think that gives you a decent amount. But again, we lost a lot of big hitters, but I wonder in this. It's the final season, man. We've seen in season 1, they fucking risked it all. They killed a lot. They killed pretty much it. Well, they did. Perfect G-Hun, they kill everyone. Is there going to be a game that just decimates everyone? I have to wait and see.
Well, there's only
What's
two.
going to happen with the kid?
There's only 2 games remaining. I don't think they'll repeat the same thing that we got in season 1, where it's just 1-on-1 at the end. I think the final game could see multiple people in each team.
That's what it should be. It should definitely.
Now, the final game, there should have been 3, but obviously... one of them got killed just before the final game started. But like you said, we don't know how many people's in it. I mean, look at that bridge game. There was 16 people left, and after that wiped out 13. So the penultimate game could wipe out pretty much the remaining cast and leave 2 people. But I don't know. I think maybe rather than do that, I think it'd be a bit more interesting if they change up the final game, change up the finale. Because it's not like the final game's going to be Squid Game again.
No.
And I know that's the name of the TV series, but I'd be very surprised if we just got a straight 1-on-1 Squid Game finale again. I think we could see opposing teams, maybe like 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4, something along those lines. I'm not too sure. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think we'll get something like that, but I think it was better than the premiere. But the game is just... It lacked a bit of structure. Honestly, man, and I get it. I mean, people are killing each other. But I just expected this game to play out differently.
Yeah, I expected more. In terms of who's dead, Daeho, he is gone. Hyunju is gone. Youngsik is gone. And Seon Neo is gone. So I'd probably say, that is 4 main characters eliminated.
Yep. 4 down.
And there may have been a couple more where, like,
I've got a feeling, though, that episode 3 is just going to be a briefer episode.
I think that...
It's going to be I think it's going to be focused more on the island rather than the game.
True. Will episode 3, the ending, will that begin the next game? Or will the 5th and penultimate game, maybe that'll be in between season 4 and 5? Or episode 4 and 5? I don't know. Anyway, rating time, what are you giving it?
I'll give it a 7. Better than the premiere.
I don't know. Was it?
It was. No, like, it was all over the place and, like, a bit retarded in places, but I do think they made the deaths feel good, the meaningful deaths.
You know what, I will give it a 7 just for that reason alone. I personally didn't think it was that great, but they did kill off some big name characters, so therefore, had had they only killed off just people with 8 numbers, had there been no major deaths, then honestly, I think
I'll tell you what, though, I'll be massively disappointed if this is the best game.
Yeah, I'll
It
get.
sounded so good though, didn't it?
It did. I actually probably thought the build up to the game was better. The people picking the numbers and the discussion over the knives. I thought the actual idea of the game was better than the game itself.
It was, pal.
Anyway, great. Maybe a good idea, poor execution, something along those lines. Anyway, guys, that's it. 7 out of 10. Until next time. Peace.